All right, we have Antonino Rosa on top and Ivan Espinosa on the bottom. Ivan, one of the new absolute ringers. I have played him in so many tournaments. I've played him in a lot of top 8s, and I do not want to talk about my record against him, Jim. And then Antonino Rosa has been around forever. I want to say, I'm going to double-check this later, but took down Nationals with Lightning Angel is what I'm remembering in the back of my head.
I was there too. I remember now.
Yeah.
It was with the Greater Gargadon Dark Confidant deck.
Oh, that is right.
Yep.
Oh, man. Greatness at any cost.
Yep.
Sometimes you just took 10.
Yep, whatever.
And when you were in that mirror match, you would choose to be on the draw. I played that deck. I wasn't in Nationals, but I was in the Junior Super Series. Yeah, fun stuff.
Just a wee lad.
Just a wee little lad. I was a youngster. But my brother was in that event, and I think he might have top 8'd. But all right, getting into the match here, we had a Surveil, a Tursa to the yard, put an Agatha Soul Cauldron down, and then just a Hired Claw off a Canal. So, Ivan's like, what? Is that instead of Mako in your Cauldron deck, or what's going on here?
Yeah, the 5-ish blue-red lands for the adventure side of the Viper, 4 of which are basically free. The Verges. This is the one that's not free because it could be a tap land later, but
yeah. Could be Izzet Guildgate at a moment's notice.
And honestly, the adventure part's not bad. It's just a sorcery speed unsummon, but it's good against things that are typically good against red decks. Large blockers, things like that.
Yep, absolutely.
So, Higher Claw coming in. We're going to see 2 points of damage, 3 points of damage. We got a counter here. We got dice on the way. Not the ideal turn 2, but still a way to get some damage and put a little pressure on the board.
Yeah, definitely not what you wanted here as that point of aggression. But hey, Hired Claw has that bailout. You got to love that.
Not the best draw on the Cauldron side either. We have a Cauldron with the Steam Core Scholar. We prefer the Cauldron to be a Profs at the moment, Eidetic Memory.
Yes.
And Scholar's not so big,
Yeah, but the nice thing is whenever I play Cauldron on 2, it usually means I have a VV ready to go. Because no matter what, you can do the thing once, you find a creature and you don't have removal held up. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. I could not see a world where this game doesn't go to Ivan.
Oh my God.
Like even this wasn't like this over-the-top, oh my God turn, but it was still a good amount of free mana. It was 2 free mana. And free mana in Standard is always a very scary, busted thing.
Yeah, and the problem is that Antonino just has 2 lands in play.
Yeah.
And that's it. And next turn, it's going to be more counters, more mana, more cards, and just the pressure, too. There's just 4 power in play. This Izzet deck is pretty good at just putting numbers on the board.
Yeah.
Raw power and toughness.
Yep, absolutely. And Antonino's resume, pretty impressive here. Grand Prix top 8s 11. Guess how many of them he took down?
I mean, I'm looking at your screen, so I know the answer.
Well, you're cheating. It's 4. 1 4 Grand Prix, top 8 at a Pro Tour as well, and 1 Nationals in 05. So a very experienced player. Results kind of ended in 2012. But you know what? The Spotlight Series is exactly perfect for someone just like him. Lives in the area, wants to come back, get that competitive itch, and has still got it.
I'm getting flashbacks to the shirt in the mouth, like a mannerism.
Yes.
Like he always did that back in the day.
Yes.
And it was very, very notable, and it's cool seeing it again.
It really is. This tournament has been awesome. Seeing Riku Kumagai here, seeing Antonino, Willie Edel, really is the true play the game, see the world here.
Great spot, like I was saying with the bounce spell. So bouncing the Cauldron and getting that out of here.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised to not see the Firebrand just immediately go after the Mako. But this is, if Antonino's going to start making a comeback here, this is a great place to start.
Yeah, absolutely, because that Mako can get out of hand at instant speed. Cycling another Mako can really get you. So you're right, it can be a little dangerous, but now this is going to be very telling to me for what it's worth. This is a mono red deck. Is it whatever? It is mono red. Outside of that blue card, this is a deck that I'm looking at the deck list now. It is very geared to beat Izzet. So if this kind of mono red deck doesn't get it done when you have a pretty decent draw, I have little to no hope for these style of mono red decks. Now, of course, 1 match, small sample size, but this should be favored with all this kind of hate cards is what I'm trying to get across.
Yeah, for sure. Scaldy Viper, Razorkin Needlehead, a lot of main deck hate. Again, I like the deepest might here, the flip God. Is it a God from Ixalan?
It is, yep.
Yes, got it.
You nailed it.
Turning 1 damage pinks into 4. Kind of a cool way to make this a little bit less of a metagame hate deck.
Yeah.
A little more just like, hey, I'm just kind of doing this thing, and this card works really well with that.
Yeah, that card really is incredible. Oh, my goodness. Especially when you have Fanatic Firebrand, Hired Claw, Nova Hellkite pings.
There are a lot of pings in this deck.
Yeah. All right. So big things here from our established pro of the later years, I would say. The earlier years, I should say.
Old school.
Old school. That's a better way to say it.
I got you.
Thank you, buddy. Looks like that is a Tursa, the one of here in Antonino's list.
Interesting. Discarding the Needlehead.
Wow.
This would not a lot of cards are on site. I mean, with the Cauldron out of the equation, no flashback cards in the graveyard.
Maybe has the Soul Read for a Torch the Tower here as well. And wow, this is a 3/3 coming into a 4/4.
Love it.
I mean, there is the Fanatic Firebrand as well, so that is available, but...
they banned Monstrous Rage, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Monstrous Rage would look really good here. It would have been a little interesting there, or, maybe something I would have liked to see from Ivan in there is block, see if there's any kind of trick, and then bounce it.
Right.
I don't think Antonino is the type of player that would have fell for the, all right, before damage, deal a damage to it.
Right.
Would have waited till after, but still, maybe you could get a little extra info.
Yeah, almost no, possible loss there as far
Yeah.
as opportunity cost goes. Well, goodbye, Mako.
Mako dead in response to discarding some cards, getting those extra counters on here from the fear of missing out.
Yeah, and this is the strength of his Izzet deck, right? So Antonino was able to deal with the Cauldron, stop to get the VV out here also, but stats, just numbers. It's just so good at putting power and toughness on the board.
Yep, big creatures against red decks have always been a good recipe. And, we look at big numbers. You can boost up this fear of missing out to get it out of range of something like Lightning Strike. And, whenever my opponent has a way to deal with one of my big creatures or deal with my VV Cauldron combo, the amount of times I just win with fear of missing out and profs combined is just a very high number,
Yeah, it's a really potent Ban B. At the last Pro Tour I played in Aether Drift, I was playing the Jeskai Oculus deck.
Yeah.
Very similar to this VV deck, where it was the primary plan was Oculus, but you just had Profs and FOMO also.
Yeah.
And with Profs, FOMO, and Steam Core Scout with the Vigilance there, a lot of times that was just it. That was the plan.
Just good enough. Yeah, absolutely. Deck, I feel, is kind of how the Cauldron deck started, I feel, Yeah. It's kind of the building blocks of it.
Very similar.
You and a couple other pretty decent Magic players, including our colleague, played that deck. Is that correct?
Not Reed.
Oh, he didn't. Okay.
Reed's
gotcha.
smart.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Reed played Domain.
On the team, but played something else. Yeah.
Reed played the Domain deck that Matt, also of a team, won the Pro Tour with.
I mean, Domain didn't do that good. It didn't go 1, 2, 3 or anything. Oh, wait.
Yeah. And I could have played that deck. I'm not the smartest, but it's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's okay. Now I'm in the booth with you.
Yeah. Come on into the booth with me where we're washed and we can just commentate on much, much better players than us.
Works for me.
Absolutely. So that looks like a Lynx.
Dragon.
Oh, that's a dragon. Okay, yep, you got it. Love that alternate art, though. Looks really cool. Deals 1 damage. Doesn't really do anything. And now this is going to be a big turn here. And no, this is not sped up. This is just Ivan smelling blood, I imagine. As now FOMO, let's see. We got land. We got instant. We got creature. We got sorcery. We are delirious. Now, for anyone who hasn't seen this interaction before, profs, if you put 3 counters on, 4 counters on, when you take that second combat, you do get those prof counters again.
Yeah, huge. Damage out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Extremely powerful. And the big draw here is also the Vigilance on the Steam Core Scholar.
That helps.
So you get 1 attack step. FOMO could only untap 1 thing, but you still get the attack step. So any Vigilance creature can just attack twice without any problem. So
I mean, this is already 17 damage in the air if I'm counting right.
I wasn't going to count because Matt's for blockers, but it looks pretty good.
17 damage in the air, plus 3 from FOMO, so that was 20 damage through a blocker right there, if my math is correct.
Yeah, and that game, is a lot of why this VV deck is so good.
Yeah.
VV thing happened pretty fast too.
Yeah.
But got taken apart. It didn't really get to do the explosive, draw a bunch of cards thing. It was a good turn, but not a great turn.
Yeah.
Antonino was able to break it up, and then you just win with profs and FOMO.
And just get it done.
No problem.
Nope. It is extremely, extremely powerful. That is for sure. You know what else is powerful, Jim? Information. Information is extremely powerful. And if you want to have some information, Jim, where should we go?
Right. StarCityGames.com/newsletter. You go sign up.
Oh, yeah.
I've been signing up for this newsletter now for 12 years or something, a really, really long time. And you want to know about events that are coming up. You want to know about sales that are happening, new sets that are coming out. Just news. Nick Miller's has some great articles on there, too, about news items, new Spider-Man cards, whatever else it might be. Right on there on your email. And most important part, especially for me, because I do not like getting extraneous emails.
Oh, yeah.
It's like one email a week or whatever, something like that. Just all you need, wrapped up in 1 or 2 emails a week. Concise. It's good stuff.
So is that why you haven't been emailing me back when I've been emailing you once a day? Was that too much?
You're blocked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, we're going to jump back into this. And, well, it looks like Antonino did even this up. So this is actually game number 3 that we are starting here, as there was a technical problem with game number 2.
All right, so that's Spire Buff now. That one of Spire Buff now every turn. See FOMO discarding a Fire Magic, and it's okay. So interesting here. You'd think the red deck wants to get out in front.
Yeah,
it's really, really important to get on the board. Kind of apply the pressure and not allow VV to kind of have the time to do its thing. So a little bit of a tough start here for Antonino.
Yeah, not ideal. Definitely looks like this is an Is It mirror at this point. That's for sure.
That's kind of the cool part, too, about closed deck list, which game 3.
Yeah.
It's kind of knows what's going on here. But in game 1, you don't know.
Yeah.
I love that. I love closed deck list tournaments personally.
I do, too. So. They're my favorite as well. But to be fair, Antonino De Rosa here is kind of open deck list anyways with that mono-red deck box. I mean, come on. That's as open as it gets.
Yep.
That really could be a Zorius control deck in that deck box as well. I've seen it plenty of times.
That's what I would expect, yeah.
Yeah, mind games. All right, so another FOMO here, discarding a card. Delirium a little far away, and this is just De Rosa just playing defense, missing land number 3 here, Jim.
That's tough, and the card advantage, spell here is what really takes advantage of that. Where, a spell like this, tapping 3 mana, not affecting the board to draw some cards, is powerful, but not when you're kind of falling behind. So the fact that Is It here is able to be ahead, draw those cards, really set up for a big turn, and Antonino's still got to do something here.
Yep. Big turn if we can have like a Screaming Nemesis, something like that. Excellent. That is a big help. No Delirium still from Ivan. No Vivi in the yard. So that last turn could have went a lot worse for Antonino De Rosa. But, hey, that's the nice thing about Winter Night Stories. You can always keep restocking. But, yeah, I mean, Ivan's draw here is very tame. Of course, Antonino's draw is quite bad as well.
Yeah, one of those scrappy, ugly games.
My favorite games, to be honest.
Love games like this.
The game where you think, like, oh, well, I'm really far behind. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this done. And be like, oh, my opponent is also not doing anything. This is nice. Screaming Nemesis number 2, as it just got bounced the last time. So still the same one. And a Hired Claw.
Yeah, getting to work. This is the turn where I'm a little scared for Antonino. All these cards have been drawn. The hand can't be bad for that long.
No kidding. I mean, there's not enough lands in the deck to be drawing only lands here from Ivan, so I'm with you. Here's Prof's Eidetic Memory. Still no Delirium as far as last turn, so we'll see if we can neutralize that and get it going.
And here come the bodies. Discards, pumps, counters, size, stats.
Large. And no attack, it would seem. And there was an Abrade discarded. Okay, so that discarding the Abrade is a sign of strength, but not attacking. Definitely maybe not so much.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we're still thinking about. Okay.
It was the Profs.
Gotcha. Makes total sense.
It's an interesting choice here to go onto the Mako with the profs counters and not the attacking FOMO.
Yeah, definitely prioritizing defense here. And with Ivan only having 2 cards, and now all of a sudden Antonino de Rosa has a pretty solid battlefield, this might be swaying back in his favor.
Yeah, a lot of cards in hand, too.
Yeah.
I guess you don't play anything and your opponent bounces your cards. That's what happens. But
that's a good point. That is a very good point.
All right, that's a good place to start.
Ooh, and gets full value for that obliterating bolt. In hindsight, if Ivan could have put that FOMO up to 5 toughness, maybe that would have been better. But hey, hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah, it's tough because there's a variety of burn spells in the red deck.
Exactly.
There's Fiery Annihilation deals 5, Strike deals 3, so it's hard to know exactly which one to play around.
Exactly. Open deck list, you can figure that out a little bit more, and you can go by the numbers, essentially, but...
Even then, there's 2 of each, so...
Dang it!
Wouldn't help you out too much.
Dang it! All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, Nemesis is a good card in these sort of stat-based games, When it's about power and toughness on the board, Nemesis plays really well there.
Totally agree. Great card at playing both offense and defense. That just means you got yourself a pretty good card there. And, I mean, you can just read that card once, and you're like, oh, my God. That is a aggressive player's dream. Quintanoli looked at that card when it got spoiled and said, yes.
Smiling from ear to ear.
I'm in.
All right. Interesting spot. Just nothing.
Yeah, what?
From Ivan.
Ivan has just been drawing horrendously, I imagine. What else would make a lot of sense?
I mean, there's a lot of lands in the graveyard, too.
Yeah.
It's not like Ivan's not been filtering through these lands. Like
He discarded on a Braid one of the turns, so you got to think, unless you had spells and now you keep drawing spells, that kind of stuff, but...
Yeah, I'm interested. We were kind of talking last match about, spots where your opponent leaves mana up for something, and it can't be anything else. It has to be a stab. It's 1 black.
Yeah.
Here, I guess it could be a lot of things, but it's just nothing.
Nothing.
What is happening?
What is going on? Now, that being said, Izzet Cauldron is, of course, a deck that can just completely pop off out of nowhere. You can just explode, but no Delirium still.
Man.
Turn 47.
This is a tough game for Ivan.
Yeah, no kidding.
Unable to scream. One of the few answers in blue-red for a Screaming Nemesis.
Yeah, just like the best. I mean, it's literally pretty thematic, like Screaming Nemesis, but now you can't scream.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Yeah, sorry. It's just a Nemesis now.
Yep. Just a regular old Nemesis.
Just like you at my store championships. Just a Nemesis.
Okay, I was going to say that was a pretty interesting block, so going to finish off Burst Lightning.
Okay. That makes sense. Still looking great here from Antonino de Rosa.
Still a little bit of screaming happening here. Oh, hello.
Double lizards.
Who's screaming now? Ivan's screaming now. Magebane Lizard, the punishing for spells. There actually are a lot of creatures in this Izzet deck. Not typical, where Izzet decks are often, sleight of handing and opting or whatever. This deck is much more creature focused. A lot of the card draw and discard is all creature based. So
yeah,
Lizard not as exciting as it would be against the deck like Prowess, but still, pretty taxing.
I mean, this is, and I was just gonna say, maybe Ivan is getting punished for not putting Quantum Riddlers into his deck. That's not true. There are 4 of them. At any point, the Riddler would just be incredible here.
Yeah.
Warp it in first, get your value when it becomes a big creature, that card is so good at these situations. When you run out of cards, the Riddler's got your back to be able to restock you up, but just not finding any. Maybe side them out, of course, against these hyper-aggressive decks when you're on the draw. That's totally defensible.
I just can't believe I haven't had time to cast the stories, flashback of stories.
4 or 5,
and we're
full retail.
Right, full retail, and we're still in the spot where he just doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Complaint equity at dinner is what's happening.
Yeah, and Antonino's got to be like, dude, what are you doing over there?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I mean, he is at this point, in all seriousness, probably deducing, okay, what can your hand be Is it just all removal that you haven't cast yet, or the more likely scenario, you just have all lands?
Yeah.
But this feels like the spot where Antonino should just be kind of smelling blood and just going ham.
All right. Warping in the dragon. Warp speed, Mr. Scott.
Yeah. Looks like this was a judge call here. Just tapping a land, changing it. I would assume the way that this works, I'm of course not a judge, so don't quote me, but nothing's changed. You can usually kind of mix that stuff around. But then again, competitive IRL, you gotta do your things correctly.
Yeah, it seemed pretty quick. It could go either way. It seems. I believe it was the mountain that was untapped, not the Soulstone Sanctuary.
I think it was like that, but
yeah.
I
think it was this.
It was this.
It
yeah.
was, okay.
And then he did the canal and switch, but looks like it's A-okay. Getting it figured out, leaving that land tapped.
You know what time it is? It's red zone time.
It sure is. We're getting in there. We're dealing 1 damage to a creature. We're getting it going.
Ivan is still at 14.
Yeah.
So,
God, if you could use this Nova Hellkite on your own Screaming Nemesis.
ooh, this is
Spice. Okay. Oh, are we going for... Looks like we're going for a win here. I like it. Ivan's playing to win here, not playing to not lose. You could just bounce Nemesis if you want, but where are you getting with that? Oh, my goodness. So this is Ivan down to 1. And now can we get Delirium? The enchantment to the yard's got to be Delirium. Now this is going to be 3 damage to Fear of Missing Out. You can attack again. That's 4 more. That's only 7 damage. But that is not enough. That is going to be Antonino Del Rosa